I think I might shave.
No!
What do you mean, no?
Gallius, please!
What? What's wrong?
It's just a really bad idea.
What if I just try it out for one day?
Put it back! Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, it is once again that special time of the week where I have spent too much time on the Monster Hunter side of the internet and regret some of my decisions. And really, I just need to vent my opinions about some of the things that I've seen. I'm not against good criticism of Monster Hunter. Of course, good criticism is one of the ways for the series to get better over time. One of the ways for it to improve. But some people just like to complain for the sake of complaining. Some people like to present reasonable arguments, but in ways that are just rude as all hell. And some people just twist the facts into lies to make their point. All of these just sort of ruin it all. If you want someone to listen to you, to even have a chance of taking you seriously, you need to be reasonable yourself. And so today I'm here to present some of these takes that I've seen over the last week that just absolutely make my skin crawl. I have nothing against these people. I don't hate them or anything. I just think they need a little tiny slap in the face to wake them up a bit. We all make mistakes, but if we don't realize that they are mistakes, we will keep making them forever in every aspect of our life. Without further ado then, Gallius, if you wouldn't mind reading the first one.
Monster Hunter series is so crappy. It's like an online RPG that is pretending to be offline but really is online for no reason at all. All you do is go into boring and poorly designed maps to go do a 30-minute boss fight with the clunkiest of controls you will ever use in a 3D action game. To play with your friends, you have to start the level on your own, and at the end you're left with the choice to either finish the mission alone or leave the mission and then invite your friend and start the mission all over again. When you're done with the mission and go back to the base, you will craft a piece of armor. Then your next mission will be to do that 10 more times to craft better armor to go to the next 30-minute boss fight and do it 20 times. Horrible game. There is no fun to be had here. Do not buy this game for the co-op, the combat, or anything else that you would like in a video game. Only buy this if you love the most grindy of Korean grind fest RPGs.
Well, this is a whole can of worms that I don't even really want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Some of it had to be paraphrased for brevity, and it still took ages to get out. Okay, the beginning section I assume is referring to Monster Hunter World in the way that you had to go into quests solo before you got the first cutscene, but this person is missing two things here. One, someone can join your quest once you've seen the cutscene, you don't have to restart completely, and then two, this is only the very first time that you see a monster. Once you have seen it, this is no longer a thing at all. The objective of the game is never to craft an armor set either. Your mission is never to kill the same monster 10 or 20 times in a row unless you personally set yourself the goal of crafting every single armor set, and even then, you will need far less kills than that. However, regardless, this is a choice that you make on how you will play the game. Then you go on to say it's just a horrible game and that people shouldn't buy it for anything that they like in video games, which is just a long way of saying you think that no one on the planet would enjoy Monster Hunter. And, well, I got something to tell you there, buddy. Lots of people like it, lots of people love it, and generally, if they didn't, the series would not have survived for almost 20 years that it has been so far. The controls are not clunky, it just isn't a hack and slash game like you seem to have expected it to be. The grind is not ridiculous, at least in the modern games. It has been dropped down significantly, and unless you are specifically talking about getting a gem or a mantle for later game monster armor, you can farm a monster's entire set incredibly quickly these days. This opinion just screams that it was from someone who played one Monster Hunter game for one session, one time, maybe 2 hours at most, didn't bother to learn at all, didn't care about the systems at all, and then quit, but clearly cared enough about their experience with it to write a short novel about how bad it is and how no one should ever try it ever. I don't get this. The game didn't hurt you. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Why would you spend this much time writing something up about a part of your life you didn't enjoy instead of going and finding something to spend your time enjoying? Life is just too short for this shit. Gallius?
Time for World 2, Can This Nonsense.
I feel like something like this comes up all the time, and I've become a bit numb to being angry at people saying fuck Rise, because I fully understand that the people who are angry are just people who mainly play games on PlayStation or Xbox and cannot play Rise or Sunbreak. At least the people who say it this way. If you had real problems with Rise or Sunbreak, then you would say them, you would get more specific, but if all you can say is make this go away and move on to the next thing, then you're probably just angry that you can't play it yourself. What genuinely bothers me more than it probably should about this though, is all the people who say the term World 2. There is not going to be a World 2. Monster Hunter games just don't work like that. That's like saying Monster Hunter World was the first Monster Hunter game ever, and no game that is set out of that location is a true Monster Hunter game. It's just wrong. The next Monster Hunter game will be Monster Hunter 6, and it probably won't be called that, but that's what it will be. And even if it is set in a similar location, there is zero chance that it will be called World 2. And if it is, I'll eat my own shorts for being wrong, but that just isn't how the series works. Monster Hunter moves forward. It doesn't move backwards, it doesn't move laterally, it moves forwards. It gets all it can out of one setting and then moves on to the next one. World is over. Iceborne was your expansion for that game, and the next game will be different once again. Gallius?
Why would you only release one event quest?
Because that's how it's been done for the entire life cycle of Rise so far. One event quest a week, pretty much every single week, and you know what? This winds up being more event quests than any other Monster Hunter game has ever had. Yes, I know people want better rewards from those event quests, and that's a reasonable complaint to bring up if you bring it up in a reasonable way, but the amount of event quests are totally fine, and getting one a week is a blessing. It gives you a reason to check up every week on the game, even if you aren't actively playing it, and that's just awesome. Gallius?
Can you, remove the limit on account items per quest? At this rate, once you hit 999 on all account items, you are forced to restart.
Okay, I'm not necessarily angry here, but why are you complaining about this mechanic? There has always been a limit to the amount of items that you can pick up on a single quest, and account items have the most lax one there is. If you were on an expedition and picking up 999 of every account item, what are you even doing? You know what, forget that. Play the game how you want to play the game. If your favorite Monster Hunter experience is farming account items for some reason, then yeah, go all in, have your fun. But don't expect the devs to change something so ludicrous that doesn't need changing just because you do something that no one else who plays the game does. This isn't a problem, and well, guess what? It takes about 30 seconds to reset an expedition. That is no time at all. It's like the mildest inconvenience possible to you. So why should this be something that changes in the first place? Gallius?
How about you spend more time giving us real event quests and monsters?
Okay, this was posted about a week after the release of the first title update, which added 4 monsters to the game a month after release. What are you expecting here? A new monster every week? Have you ever looked into the concept of game design, or are you just upset about these post-release updates, which are free by the way, aren't sucking every moment of the lives out of their creators? Do you think that the devs should be in crunch time every day of the year to deliver as many new monsters as physically possible until they drop to the floor? Some people just cannot accept that something is good when they have it. The concept of every event quest adding a new monster to the game, well, awesome in theory if it was possible, just isn't possible in any sense, and you saying it like a disappointment that that isn't happening is just ridiculous to me. Gallius?
In relation to a post about Anomaly coins, I like how it implies that he just has all these mantles and spires and is just refusing to share them with us. Like, asshole, I have killed Ibushi 32 times, give me a fucking spire.
Okay, that's just really funny. Yeah, sometimes Monster Hunter chooses game mechanics over reasonable lore, and this isn't a game where there are 8 merchants and each of them has a stock that makes sense for their backstory or anything like that. So yeah, if you try to make sense of the Anomaly Lab trade-ins, it is sort of hilarious that Bahari has a mantle from the final boss in the first place. I mean, how would he have gotten it? Did he kill that monster himself? I highly doubt it. He's not a hunter. So did he just sneak up after we killed it and carve it off and keep it a secret until he needed something from us? The whole system is hilarious if you try to look at it with any sort of lore involvement. This is not a bad take, it's just funny. Gallius?
Would love for more gender-neutral or non-gender locked clothing options to be available one day.
Yes, absolutely. This is something I will absolutely fight for. It's not a bad take, but a good one. Yes, it would be more work to model both the male and female armor sets over both the male and female body types, but this would be less effort than making alpha and beta sets for both, as they used to do all the time, and it would give everyone the ability to wear every aesthetic available in the game, which is just a good thing. Don't like the more feminine armor? Well, you don't have to wear it anymore, regardless of which gender you choose in character creation. Just wear the stuff that you like the look of more. This is a totally good opinion that I am on board with and see no issue with at all. And that's about it. Always nice to end on something that I think would actually make the series a little bit better. Sometimes people make me angry, but thankfully the internet isn't only the angry people looking to complain. There are good ideas out there too, and people just having a nice time. I hope you managed to get some enjoyment from even the worst post that I've talked about today, though. as a lot of what this is about for me is turning things that were created entirely out of negativity into enjoyment for people that actually like this kind of thing. So, like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.